Hello student, in the previous lecture we have discussed about the valuation of goodwill. In this lecture we will see how to do valuation of shares. Okay. Now what is shares? Okay, share, you know the definition of shares very well actually. Share is the share in the share capital of the company is the definition of shares. Okay. According to the Companies Act 2013, share means the share in the share capital of the company. A share is a one unit into which the total share capital is divided. Okay, the share of the private limited company cannot quote on stock exchange. Also, not all public company shares are quoted on the stock exchange. Okay. In case of shares quoted in the recognized stock exchange, the price quoted in the stock exchange are generally taken as a basis for valuation of those shares. Okay. However, the stock exchange price are determined generally on the demand supply position of the shares and on business cycle. Okay. Its value cannot be easily ascertained. Price of such share depends upon the various factors such as the demand and supply, market condition, etc. Okay, the quoted share means which are listed on stock exchange. The price prevailing on the stock exchange is accepted. However, the valuation by expert is called for when the parties involved in fail to arrive at the mutual acceptable value. Okay, so the valuation of shares is done. The shares of the company are to be valued at the different occasion as follows. When the shares are need to be valued, that situation are mentioned here. When the shares of one class are to be converted into the shares of another class, at that time we need to value the shares. Okay. Second situation, when the shareholder want to take loan against the security of shares. Okay. When we want to give the security of shares for the loan, at that time we need to value the shares. When the shares are to be bought and sold, this is the third case. When the company are amalgamated, absorbed and reconstructed, at that time also we need to value the shares. Next, when the government want to compensate the shareholder on the nationalization of the company. Okay, these are the some situation. At that time we need to value the shares. We need to do the valuation of shares. Okay. These are the some points I have mentioned here that we need to consider at the time of valuation of shares. Okay. The fixed asset should be revalued at the net realizable value. Okay. Next, inventory should be taken at the current market value. Investment should be taken at a market price. Current asset like debtors, bills receivable should be valued at their realizable value. Okay, that means all the assets we should consider at the realizable value. Okay. Next, fictitious assets should be eliminated. Okay, fictitious assets means preliminary expenses, underwriting commission, discount on issue of shares and debenture. That should be that we should eliminate while valuation of shares. Goodwill may be valued at their realizable value. Before valuation of share, we should value the goodwill. Okay, if goodwill are not provided in the problem, we should value the goodwill first, and then we will do the valuation of shares. Okay, all unrecorded assets and liability should be taken into consider. Unrecorded assets and liability means those assets or liability which are not on the face of the balance sheet, but that assets and liabilities information are provided in the adjustment. That assets and liability also we should consider while valuation of shares. Okay, non-trading assets also should be considered. Okay, we already seen that actually in case of valuation of goodwill, we didn't consider the non-trading asset. Okay, non-trading asset means investment. We exclude that a profit portion of the investment while valuing the FMP, future maintainable profit, and also while valuation of while calculation of average capital employed, that non-trading investment we didn't consider in asset side. Okay, So at the time of valuation of goodwill, we are not considering this non-trading asset, but for the valuation of share we should consider this. Okay, from the net asset available, all the shareholder arrears of preference dividend payable and preference capital should be deducted. Okay, these are the methods for the valuation of equity shares. Okay, out of these methods, 3 methods are important for the practical problem purpose. First one, intrinsic value method. Second method, yield value method, and third, fair value method. These 3 methods are important for the practical problem purpose, but in your syllabus you have these 6 methods. Actually 7 and 8 method are not in your syllabus. Okay, now look for the first method. Okay, intrinsic value method. The intrinsic value is also named as liquidation value or paid breakup value or asset backing value. Okay, these are the another name for the intrinsic value method. Okay, this method of valuation is based on the assumption of the asset. Here it is assumed that the company goes in liquidation in nearby period. All the assets are sold and all the liabilities are paid off. Then remaining surplus is distributed among the equity shareholder. Okay, this is the basis for the intrinsic value method. Okay, now how to find out the value of the shares in case of intrinsic value method? Okay, there are 2 steps for the calculation of valuation of shares or calculation of value of shares in intrinsic by intrinsic value method. Okay, first step is find out amount available to equity shareholder. Okay, find out amount available to equity shareholder. This is the first step, and second step is calculate intrinsic value per share. Okay, these are the 2 steps. Okay, now how to calculate or how to find out the first step answer? For that we need to prepare this chart. In that chart we need to mention all the assets at current market value, including goodwill, non-trading investment, but excluding fictitious assets. Okay, next less all liabilities at market value. Okay, excluding share capital and reserve and surplus. Okay, and also we need to add dues to preference shareholder, paid up preference share capital, arrears of preference dividend. All these things we need to add. Then we will find amount available to equity shareholder. Okay, this is the first step while calculating value of equity share by intrinsic value method. And in the second step there are actually 2 situations. Situation 1, if all the shares are fully paid up, and in situation 2, if some shares are partly paid up. Okay, if the first situation is there, at that time we can find out the value of shares by using this formula: amount available to equity shareholder, that is first step answer, divided by number of equity shares. Okay, by using this formula you will find intrinsic value per share. Okay, and in the second situation, that means if the sum of the shares are partly paid up, at that time we need to do this: amount available to equity shareholder, that means first step answer. Okay, add calls in arrears, uncalled up capital, assuming that calls are made and received. Okay, that means if the share of rupees 10 per share and called up at rupees 8 per share, at that time we need to add that 2 rupees per share into that amount available to equity shareholder. Okay, then we will find net amount available to equity shareholder. Okay, and after that we need to use this formula for calculation of partly paid up share capital, partly paid up share amount, that is net amount available to equity shareholder, means this amount divided by total number of equity shares. Okay, divided by total number of equity shares into unpaid amount per share, into unpaid amount per share. By this formula we will find the partly paid up share amount. Now let's see second method, yield value method. Okay, in this method the valuation is based on the assumption of going concern principle. Okay, in the earlier method there is the assumption that the company is going to be in liquidation. Okay, and in the current situation the assumption is that the company is going concern. Okay, here it is assumed that the company shall carry on business profitability for many years to come. Therefore value of share is based on the account of profit that would be available to equity shareholder as a dividend. Okay, this is the basic term behind the yield value method. Now there are also some steps we need to follow while finding out the value of shares by yield value method. The first step is find out the future maintainable profit. Okay, actually you all know how to find out the future maintainable profit. Okay, while calculating goodwill you know about this future maintainable profit, but what is the difference between the future maintainable profit at the time of calculation of goodwill and future maintainable profit while valuing the shares? Okay, there are basic difference in that, because while valuing the goodwill you have not considered this point, non-trade investment. Okay, you exclude all this information while calculating FMP at the time of calculation of goodwill. Okay, and also you have not considered this point also while calculating FMP. Okay, at the time of valuation of goodwill. Okay, so if you know the future maintainable profit for the valuation of that you have calculated for the valuation of goodwill, at that time you can use this formula only while calculating the FMP. Just you need to add the non-trade investment and just need to deduct the that transfer to reserve. Okay, that may be preference transfer to reserve, and second preference dividend and dividend distribution tax. You need to deduct these things from this FMP. Okay, you will find FMP available to equity shareholder. Okay, this is simple formula. Or this is not available, then we need to follow all these actually 3 steps. First we need to find out the adjusted capital, then we need to find out the average capital by using simple average or weighted average. Okay, and third step calculation of FMP. But while calculating this we need to consider this point also. Okay, non-trade investment income also. Okay, at the time of goodwill we exclude that point while calculating FMP, but at the time of shares we need to include that point. Okay, while calculating FMP. Okay, this is the first step, find out the FMP. Okay, now second step, find out the rate of FMP. For finding out the rate of FMP you just need to use this formula, FMP, that is first step answer, divided by paid up equity share capital into 100. Okay, you will find percent, that is the rate of FMP. Okay, and final answer is find out yield value, that is yield value of shares. Okay, the formula for that you just need to use this formula, rate of FMP, that means second step answer, divided by NRR. Okay, now NRR is normally provided in the problem, otherwise we need to find out the NRR by using formula dividend in similar type of business divided by market value in similar type of business. By using this formula you can calculate NRR into amount paid per equity shares. Okay, this is formula for calculation of yield value. Okay, this is second method for calculation of or valuation of goodwill, valuation of shares. Okay, now this is third method, earning capacity method. Okay, here the value of share is decided on the earning capacity of the company. Earning are the different in different context relating to the fund employed. Okay, steps to calculate the earning capacity value of equity share. First, find out the earning. Second, calculate capital employed. Third, rate of earning, and last one is value of shares. Okay, find out earning. It is the amount of profit before interest, loan, term loan and preference dividend, but after tax. it is operating profit on the capital employed. Okay, next second we need to calculate the capital employed. Capital employed is equal to asset minus short term liabilities and provision. Okay, this is capital employed. Next, third step, we need to calculate rate of earning. The formula for that, profit earned divided by NRR into 100. And last, valuation of equity share. Value of equity share is equal to rate of earning divided by NRR into paid up amount per share. Okay, this is formula for calculation of equity share by earning capacity method. Okay, now next method, capitalization of maintainable profit method. Okay, for that you need to follow these three steps. First one is calculation of FMP. Next, capitalized value of FMP. For that you need to use this formula, FMP divided by NRR into 100. And last step, value per equity share. Okay, formula for that, capitalized value of FMP, that is second step answer, divided by paid up equity share capital into amount paid per equity share. Okay, by using this formula you can find out capitalized value of maintainable profit, okay, of share, value per equity share. Okay, now next method is fair value method. Okay, this is the combination, the fair value method is the combination of first two methods, that is intrinsic value and yield value. Okay, for calculation of this value of share by this method, you just need to calculate value of share by first two method, that is first one is intrinsic value and second one is yield value. Okay, and after finding out this value of shares by these two method, you just need to add these two method, value of shares divided by 2. Okay, the fair value of share is the average of the value of shares obtained by the net asset method, that is means intrinsic value method, and the one obtained by the yield method. Okay, that is second method. Intrinsic value indicate the amount of net asset available to equity shareholder, and yield value is based on the earning per equity share. Okay, just we need to average out that two method, you will find the answer, that fair value of equity shares. Okay, okay, this is the fair value method. Now next method is dividend capitalization method. Okay, this is the method based on the dividend paid on equity share, that is the amount of earning made available to equity shareholder. The value of share is determined by the capitalizing the dividend per share at NRR, normal rate of return. For the calculation of value per share, you need to use this formula, dividend per share divided by NRR into paid up value per share. Okay, as per our syllabus, now this is the last method for valuation of shares. Okay, valuation of equity shares. Okay, like, subscribe and share my channel. Now let's see one problem related to valuation of shares. Okay, okay, this is the balance sheet and some of the additional information. Okay, a shareholder of M Private Limited requests you to advise him about the fair value of equity shares of the company. The company's financial position as on 31st March 2020 is as under. Okay, you are asked to find out the fair value of equity share. Fair value means it is the combination of two methods, that is first method intrinsic value method and second method yield method. That means we need to find out value of share as per intrinsic value method and after that yield value method, and by using this answer of actually two method, we can find out fair value of the shares. Okay, this is the balance sheet of company. 20,000 6% preference share, 12,000 equity share at ₹20, debenture redemption fund. Okay, this is reserve and surplus, P&L account, opening balance. Okay, and current year profit. The current year profit is provided before tax current year profit. Okay, this is not after tax. Okay, 5% debenture, creditors, and depreciation fund. That means this is depreciation on plant and machinery, land and building. Okay, goodwill is already provided in the problem. Okay, current asset. Okay, next, goodwill is revalued at rupees 1,45,000. Okay, valuation of goodwill is already done, and the value of revised value of goodwill is 1,45,000. Okay, next, normal rate of return expected is 10%. That means NRR already provided in the problem, that is 10%. The share of the company are not freely transferable. Okay, this is actually additional information. Investment are part of the business asset. Okay, this is also just information, because while valuing the goodwill shares, we need to consider actually all the goodwill, trading and non-trading goodwill, trading and non-trading investment as well. Okay, next, profit for the year as stated above are before annual transfer of rupees 12,700 to debenture redemption fund. Okay, so before calculating the final FMP, we need to consider this point, that we need to transfer debenture redemption fund rupees 12,700. Next, income tax may be taken at 50% of the profit, because this profit is provided before tax. Okay, so we need to consider or find out the after tax profit by using this tax rate. Okay, dividend record of the company is not stable. Okay, this is also one information. Work out the fair value of equity share as requested. Okay, we need to find out the fair value of equity share. For that, we need to first calculate intrinsic value per share. Okay, intrinsic value of equity share. For that, first step is find out amount available to equity shareholder. Okay, the formula for that: assets at market value less liabilities. Assets at market value, goodwill 1,45,000. Okay, they have provided revaluation of only goodwill, so it is assumed that all the other assets are considered to be at book value. Okay, that is revised value is equal to book value. Plant and machinery 2 lakh, land and building 2 lakh, investment 1,20,000, stock 120, debtors 140, and cash at bank 152. Okay, total 10,77,000 less liabilities. Okay, these are the liabilities: 5% debenture, creditors. Okay, next, depreciation fund. Okay, and last one is provision for taxation. Okay, this profit is provided before tax. Okay, so tax on that 50%, that is 1,30,000 into 50%, that is 65,000. That is provision for tax, 65,000. Okay, so after deducting, you will find 6,15,000. Deduct the preference share capital. Okay, as per our this formula. Okay, less dues to preference shareholder. That means preference share capital. If there are any areas of dividend, preference dividend, then we also need to deduct that. Okay, preference share capital rupees 2 lakh. Okay, there is no any areas of preference dividend. Okay, so final net asset available to equity shareholder is rupees 4,15,000. Okay, this is first step answer. Okay, just you need to mention all the assets at market value, including intangible assets and non-trading asset as well. Okay, less liabilities. Liabilities, we should consider all external liabilities excluding share capital and reserve and surplus. Okay, and also we need to deduct preference share capital arrears of preference dividend. Okay, you will find net asset available to equity shareholder. Okay, next finally you need to use this formula for calculation of intrinsic value per share, that is amount available to equity shareholder. Amount available to equity shareholder, first step answer 4,15,000 divided by number of equity shares. Okay, number of equity shares 12,000. Number of equity shares 12,000. Okay, you will get this answer, that is intrinsic value per share 34.58 per share. Okay, just mention rupees 34.58 per share. Okay, now calculate the value of share by yield value method. Okay, yield value of equity share. There are 3 steps for calculation of yield value of equity share. First step is calculation of FMP. Okay, second step is calculation of rate of FMP, and last step is calculation of yield value per share. Okay, so first find out FMP, calculation of FMP. Okay, if you see the problem, in that problem you are not provided with the last 3 or 4 years profit. Okay, so there is no need to calculate the average profit. Okay, or I think there are no any adjustment related to FMP. But if you see here, you will find the profit for the year. This is current year profit, and that is also provided before tax profit. Okay, that is 1,30,000. Okay, so we consider that FMP before tax, that is 1,30,000. In the adjustment, the tax rate is provided, that is 50%. So charge less tax 50%, 65,000. So FMP after tax is 65,000. Now less appropriation. For calculation of FMP, just you need to deduct the dividend on preference share and debenture redemption fund. Okay, debenture redemption fund, this is debenture redemption fund, that is transferred to reserve. Okay, 12,700, and dividend on preference shares. Okay, dividend on preference shares, that is 6% on rupees 2 lakhs. Okay, that is 12,000 rupees. Okay, 12,000 rupees. Okay, so FMP available to equity shareholder is 40,300. Okay, 65,000 minus 12,000 minus 12,700 is equal to 40,300. This is a calculation of this is FMP available for equity shareholder. Okay, next is calculation of rate of FMP. The formula for that, rate of FMP is equal to FMP divided by paid up equity share capital into 100. Okay, so FMP is 40,300. Okay, divided by paid up equity share capital. Paid up equity share capital rupees 2,40,000 is rupees 2,40,000. Okay, into 100. Okay, 2,40,000 into 100. The answer is 16.79%. This is the rate of FMP. Okay, and final step, calculation of yield value of equity share. The formula is rate of FMP, that is this, divided by NRR. NRR is already provided in the problem, that is 10%. Okay, divided by NRR into amount paid per equity share, that is paid up value per equity share. The paid up value per equity share, okay, that is 20. Okay, value per equity share is rupees 20 per share. Okay, 20 per share. Okay, the answer is 27.98 per share, rupees 27.98 per share. Okay, this is the yield value per share. Okay, and this is the intrinsic value per share, and last method is fair value of equity share. For just we need to use this formula, intrinsic value per equity share plus yield value per equity share divided by 2. Intrinsic value 34.58, yield value 27.98 divided by 2. The final answer is 31.28 per share. Okay, this is the yield value per share. Okay. Okay, valuation of equity shares is also actually easy task. Okay, just mostly that fair value, intrinsic value, or the yield value, value of share we are asked to calculate in the practical problem. Okay, in the question paper. Okay. Like, subscribe and share my channel.